Welcome back to the 18th Forge. This is the fifth installment for the commission blades, 3 commission blades. But today we're going to be working on this one, which I'll explain as I'm working, I suppose. But this is what I call the initiate's blade. It goes back to my my family's involvement in Middle Earth Rangers and a reenactment unit. Well, not really a unit, but what we do with Middle Earth. This particular knife is for a young man that he and I have also worked out a trade. That seems to be a common theme with me, and I don't mind that so much. But anyway, before we get started, I do want to make mention that the man that's getting this blade, he's a great guy, he's a friend of mine, and he's having to make some life changes right now. He's had some health issues that are forcing him to make some changes, and if you've ever done anything like that, you know that's not easy. You've been this way all your life, and now all of a sudden you've got to be that way. And so he's having to make some health changes in his life. I've done a few myself. I'm having to make some changes for the VA, getting some help through them. So anyway, I'm kind of in a boat with him, but pray for this young man if you're the praying type, and just keep him in your thoughts. But right now, we're going to get onto the knife, and we're going to start getting it moved towards finished. This blade has a similar issue to, or the same issue as the other single edge blade, that the edge was a little convex, so I had to work that out. It actually was convex enough, and it sort of wandered to this side, so I had to work all of that out. So now we're coming in with 120 grit sandpaper and working all of that out. Initiate's blade. Since my children were small, I've been involved in it's not really a group, we're not really organized, but I've been involved in the Middle Earth Ranger Forum. I'm not as involved now as I have been. I really need to get back to it. They haven't done anything to me. They're a great group of people. Probably one of the best forums, in my opinion, one of the best forums, if not the best forum on the internet. If you're interested in Lord of the Rings, anything Lord of the Rings, not just Rangers, check us out at middleearthrangers.org, I think it is. I'll have to look that up. But if so, if I'm wrong, I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, it's a great group of people, and we've been involved with them for a long time. But in my particular, we develop our personas and so forth. So in my particular persona, there's a family history of the father or training ranger passing to the young ranger an initiate's blade. It would be a short single-edged blade for him to begin his training with, something to trek with. And honestly, there's a lot of discussion about what blade a ranger should carry with him. I've tried carrying a big huge sword with a big cross guard through the North Carolina underbrush. It doesn't work. It's not good at all. So anyway, looking at it, in my humble opinion, a shorter blade is better. But anyway, this is the Initiate's blade, and I'm not going to ramble on and on. I think that I'm probably closer to finishing this one than I am the others, because I know this design. I've done multiple knives like this. And it's really, honestly, more simple to finish than the other two. So I expect to get this one done quicker. These scratches that I put in with the belt have proven to be quite stubborn. So I went over it with a higher grit belt, a Trizac belt, but didn't fully get all the scratches out of it. But I'm always very cautious with my belt to keep from burning my edge, because we'll do it in a heartbeat with a powered grinder. So I've still got some scratches in here that I got to get out, and that's what we're working on now. Well, I've got I dug in just a little bit here with the belt, so I'm trying to sand that out now. That might be tougher to sand out than the previous grit that was on here before I took it back to my belt grinder. But it's there, and I got to get it out. It's following this line right along there, and I got to get that out. So, and there's some extra scratches right there that I didn't get out with the Trizac belt. So anyway, that's what I'm going to be working on now. Looks like a tip might still be a little convex also. Okay, the line has mostly disappeared here, but I've still got some there, and you could probably see that there, and these scratches are still there. Things being quite stubborn here. We'll get it. Actually, most of those marks are mostly gone, but still got a little ways to go. Switch to my brass piece. I kind of like it better as a backing, and I have more to hold on to. This brass piece is going to become guards and pommel caps and all that sort of stuff. But for now, it's my sanding stick. Alright, well I think that's got that. Let that line wander up. I might have to correct that on the other side. We'll see. Anyway, time to move on to the flats on this side. Since those marks proved pretty hard to get out before, I'm not switching to another grit yet. I'm just going to stick with the 120 grit. Looks like a wise choice actually because of what I'm seeing here. A little minute pitting that's got to be sanded out. May not show up on camera, but it certainly shows up here in eye to eye in real time. I think most of it is going to be covered by the guard, or the not really guard, bolster. It's going to come up this way. But why do you want to take a chance on leaving that there and then not having it covered? Then you got a sloppy finish. So we're going to finish it if I don't drop the bar first. Besides, if that's finished, it gives me more options. I can bring the bolster back a little if I want, or leave it out forward. And either way, it's going to look neater. I'm also undetermined on whether or not I'm going to thin out my tang a little bit. I may to get rid of some of the weight, but we'll figure that out as I go. Alright, trying to bring this flat to a finish with the 120 grit. After that, I guess I'm going to have to take a break from it because I'm doing the cooking tonight on the grill, which is always good. And folks are saying they're hungry, myself included. little bit of a pit right there where the belt dug into it a little. You can feel it actually with my hand. So that's got to come out before I'm done. Be careful brushing this off this way. I should get a rag or something. I don't know if you can see it or not in all the dirt, but I've laid open the skin there and there. Not really, it didn't cut deep, not deep enough to bleed, but it's enough to say, hey, you're messing up, buddy. You're about to get cut severely. I guess this is one of those do as I say, not as I do moments, and learn from my bad examples. Be careful in knife making. Careful in working steel or wood, whatever your medium is, because we work with dangerous tools and dangerous objects sometimes, and you can get severely hurt. All right, I think that's out. I can still feel it. There's a little bit of a ridge there, so I'm going to hit it again. I got the sandpaper. Let's do it. All right, well, I think that's it for the 120. When we get back, we'll be on 180. So, it's the next day. The neighbors are out having fun in their yard over there, and so now I'm going to have some fun in my yard. I have misplaced my 180 grit paper, so we're just going to try to go to 220 and see how that does. Yeah, I think this is going to work fine. Okay. It's time to start with 400 grit on this final side. See what we come up with. Took a little break from it for a little bit because of weather and nursing an injury that has been re-aggravated at work. So now it's time to get back to it. Finish it up. Move these 3 projects along. And then I have trouble with my sandpaper. Coming along. Ways to go yet. Sorry about all the throat clearing and everything. I'm still fighting a summer cold that has decided to relapse on me. It's not as bad as it was, but it's still there. One little tiny mark that once I go to etch will show up like a sore thumb, I promise you. Stick out like a sore thumb, that's to say. And here we go on the flats now. You see me dropping my hand to the side over here and shaking my fingers out. I've had pinched nerves all the way from my neck to my wrist, and that's the injury I've re-aggravated. So, got to do my rehab exercises and get everything where it's working right again, and we're just going to push through. Partly my fault because of not continuing to do the exercises I was given. Everything was right, everything was good, everything was feeling great. And then over the last couple of weeks, I've had to do something different in my shop and at work, and it's re-aggravated it. So I gotta, and it would not have happened had I been doing the exercises. It wouldn't have bothered me either way. So now I gotta get back on the exercises. Oh, and for all of you hammer jockeys out there that might be watching this, A lot of these pinched nerves came from improper hammer technique at my anvil. Pay attention to your anvil, your hammer technique. Study videos, study other guys, know what they're doing on their hammers, with their hammers and their anvils. I'm having to make the changes now, and I'm just hoping it's not too late. Make the changes now and study them. That's my PSA for today. Do you see a maker's mark in that? Yeah, neither do I. It would seem that I dulled my stamps with the other blade. I didn't realize how hard that was. So we're going to be making some changes. I'll figure out a way to mark this. I'm going to either try to electro etch it if I can come out with a decent IF to electro etch it, or I may make some sort of a graver to try to put it in there. But yeah, we'll be marking this blade. But right now we're going to move on to etching for this one and for the last one. Actually, I think if you look closely in this video, you might see the beginnings of a hamon. I don't know yet. Let's see what we got after we etch it. Alright, well, we never tried to etch this blade, so we're going to etch this one, and then we're going to etch the shorter blade. Let's see what we got. I'm going to let that set a little while. I'm not so sure about a hamon on this one. Also not real sure about the potency of my ferric chloride anymore. Yeah, there is a hamon there. It's there. But as I said, I don't think my ferric chloride is up to speed right now. I'm just brushing it off with some 2000 grit sandpaper. This is after 30 minutes. I think what I might do is clean it up, but see what I can do with the ferric chloride. Put it back in for a while. But through here, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but there's a bit of a line through here. You can see it's lighter here and then darker. So, and that would be Beren wanting to be played with. B-E-R-E-N, as in Tolkien's Beren and Luthien. We named him Beren because it was a good elvish name, and then I realized where the name came from. Okay, anyway, so yeah, we're going to clean this one back up and see what we can do with it. Alright, well, we're going to go ahead and try to etch this one. Let's see if we can bring the hamon out of it. It keeps peeking at me, so hopefully we're going to get a good one. Now we'll leave that in there. Maybe 30 minutes. Start with 10-minute intervals. See what we got. Alright, after etch, this is what we've got. That was about 40 minutes in the ferric chloride. I do believe my ferric chloride is getting a little weaker, but that's actually the best hamon I've ever come up with. I've got it coated with some WD-40 to keep it from rusting. I'm going to throw the other one back in the ferric and see if I can bring out the hamon a little more on it, because I didn't leave it in as long, but I honestly don't think it has as good a hamon as this one. This is the best that I've ever gotten. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and move on. You'll get to see the other one later. Alright, well, that's going to close it out for this particular video, for this knife. The next is going to be fittings. The fittings on this blade are going to be pretty simple. I know how to do those. I've done it on two others like this, 2 or 3 others like this already. So I know how I'm going to do the fittings on this one, but the other two are going to be challenging. I've got to move on to the pommel cap for the Viking-esque blade, and the other long single edge blade is going to get kind of complicated. So we're going to get on that here very, very soon. I'll be shooting that video. I've already gotten plans for all of it. So be sure to come back for those and see how that goes. I'll also show, if I got a decent hamon on the other one, I'll show it. If I don't, I'm just going to sand it back to 400 to 600 grit, and we'll go with that. But yeah, we're going to move on to fittings, and we're going to see how all of that goes. Please follow along. We are right now, as of shooting this video, this is another video I'll be releasing before this. It's some things I did in my shop. If you haven't seen it, please check it out. But as of shooting this video, we have 57 subscribers. Still looking for 100. So please, if you haven't subscribed, please do. Please share it with your friends and ask them to subscribe. It'll be an opportunity to win a small knife, small little token of thanks to each one of you, although only one of you is going to get the knife. But please come along, please subscribe, please like the video and share it. And comment down below what you think about the home-on in this blade and any suggestions you have for getting a better home-on. Alright, well, we'll talk to you later, and be sure to check back. Now, welcome back to the Etching Forge. This is about the 5th installment on the No Carl Was Coming Until I Started the Video. Seriously? This blade had a similar issue to the other single-edge commission blades that I'm doing. So I had to start at, well, on my grinder and work out the edge. Let's see if I'm still, okay, I didn't mean to keep your camera there, I'm sorry. Let's see if I can get it straight again. There, how's that? There might be some editing done here. Anyway. Alright, now we're going to get back to some sanding with 220 grit. If I don't knock the camera over. Up.